We're recording. We are recording. Hello, I'm Alex, and I think I finally have time to do the transfer review for Inter. Now, I probably won't be doing a deep dive and stuff, since I'm sure you live under a rock, or don't pay attention to Serie A, or Inter that is. I'm sure you think that the transfer window is very underwhelming. It gets spanked, and it is what you showed up. I mean, wouldn't be surprised. Actually, it would be a surprise, given it's Beppe of all people. You expect a massive response from all that. But I want to go over the transfer window with you and get my few thoughts about that. So, I'm going to start with someone like Petar Susic, who, by the way, was brought in last season, but was in Dinamo Zagreb to play the remainder and join Inter after the Club World Cup. So for Susic, yeah, 14 million plus 2 billion bonuses. These are add-ons. I don't not my head verdict, but it's a good steal. Given how he's playing so far. I mean, you can always count on Croatian players, especially the Croatian league. And maybe the French league, I hope so. Because I know that League 1 is creating a lot of ballers from mid-table sides. Like one or two, like, okay, scout them, get them. But yeah, I wouldn't put Pierce Sutures on. He gets from Winter. It just feels like he's a new player for us. It's like Chiesa for Liverpool. Brought in for one season with a contract. Yeah, a contract. And say for like next year or something. But for Susic, great start. And yeah, he plays as 8-6 or an 8. Zalewski. Now this one's redeemed for loan. Summer. But I'll get to more Zalewski later. I think there's something about that transfer that doesn't fit well for me. Luis Enrique. Now for Enrique, 23 million plus 2 million add-ons. Brought in for Club World Cup. Which is okay. Brought in someone who is known for dribbling. Came from Marseille. So there's that. And Brazilian. And Jon Boni from Parma. From what I've done some research, he's pretty much vice Taram, which I hope it brings him some competition. Even though he did score 6 goals, but it's Parma. Gotta be careful of that. One hand, he gets vice Taram. Another, 6 goals. Maybe Plinko, great. Andy Doof from I think Lons, 20 million, 5 million. After chasing Lookman and I think Kone is both of them, and get rejected by Atalanta Roma. We somehow get Andy Doof. Doof. I do not know how to pronounce this guy fellow's name. Maybe I will in the future. But 21 freshman from Lons. From what I heard, he can pass, especially in the final third, but cannot shoot at all. And also has the pace energy. So from him, I'm gonna guess from playing as a midfield 3, I hope he gets ahead of Mickey in the future. Because if our midfields can't get ahead of Mickey in the future, it seems a worrying sign. Given our current depth, Manuel Akanji on loan, deadline day, Of course, get Akanji, which is good. He can play center back, and the right center back. Maybe perhaps a back four. But there's some players I haven't seen a back four. So there's that. For Akanji, I don't know for that deal. Seems like a good deal alone, but I have a feeling we had to swap for someone out of the squad. Now the sad outs. Sad outs. Or maybe some. For outs, Tajon Buchanan to Villarreal. 9 million, 20% add-on. For Buchanan, I hope he does well in Villarreal as a fellow Canadian. But yeah, doesn't much. It sucks that it didn't work out for him. Pretty much one injury. Yeah, one nasty injury. I don't remember which one is it. But it took him out for a very long time. That I don't think he has time to integrate with the squad. It was very unfortunate for him. Because he can play left wing back, right wing back. Now to Zalewski. You know, that deal doesn't make sense to me in any way. For Zalewski, you know, we've been dealing with Lookman for like a month of transfer window, only for because Inter wants sell for 40 million. Yeah, Inter wants him for 40. Atalanta wants him for 50. Inter raised up offer at 40 plus add-ons, only to get rejected, maybe to 55 to 60. Thing is, Atalanta, they actually want to keep Lookman, even though Lookman wants a transfer request. I honestly think, and you have Lookman blacking out social, so yeah, it's not a good thing for Atalanta. One player who doesn't want to be here, and they could have sold for a long time. He's going to devalue over time, I think. But back to Zalewski. Paid Atalanta 17 million without a fight. You know, it's Zalewski. I really wish for him to do well at Inter, because can you imagine having a wingback options of DeMarco, Dumfries, Zalewski, and Luis Enrique? Of course, Darmian can fill in as a fifth choice, which is I would prefer. Let's be honest, he has a 1 year left his contract. It's better to integrate the four or wingbacks who will be playing week in, week out for next season and this season. Phase Darmian out. Taremi came in for free, 2.5 million to Olympiacos. Oh, I forgot about Stankovic. I talk about Stankovic. Forgot about that. But I'll just go on to with Taremi. Free to 2.5 million. Very unfortunate. If only he more ambitious at scoring. He has a defensive. He plays a defensive play, can press well, but he could have been the number 10. But oh well. Alexander Stankovic. You know, it's the Inter Primavera player. I usually don't put them since there's quite a bit that gets loaned out, loan out, loan out, loan out, loan out, loan. Because it's Inter, apparently. You know, get his player, keep loaning them until they're like 25, and then actually sell them. Why? He has a buyback clause sent to Club Brugge. Buyback clause of 22 million. Now, for this buyback clause, seems like all right, but the problem is that expected Alexander Stankovic to be a 40 million player, because you look at the Belgian league, you put in 22, 20 million. That's really on the upper end of the highest transfers. So yeah, we would be a bit out of negotiating for that. So 22 million for Alexander Stankovic buyback. And speaking of, probably could use a vice DM. Because I know that because look, he is so far Hakan. So he's doesn't seem to fit well without Inzaghi's system. And because let's be honest, he doesn't want to be here. And Inzaghi system only fits well for him. He's like because he should have been balling in the Turkish side. Doesn't seem to do that even in the Euros. Valentin Carboni on loan to Genoa. Or Carboni, and that's the ACL. I would prefer him to be our fifth choice, but it's understandable for him to get some game time. Came back from injury, long-term injury. Give him game time. Hope he does well. Probably a year at most. Seb Esposito. I have nothing much to say. Loan with a condition buy to Cagliari. Has a 40% sell on. If it does well, okay. Aslani. You know, it's like one of those players that we really question if Inter can sell players. Last time we can sell is what 2 years ago. Onana to United. I remember. That's a definition of actually selling players. But after Oaktree took over, it just somehow can't. And Aslani just summarized that. He offers to Real Betis. Didn't want to go there because he doesn't want to go abroad. He doesn't go to Bologna, which I'm surprised at all. Where else is it going to? Fiorentina, maybe? Yeah, Fiorentina. But doesn't want to go there either. So I was left with Torino. I don't know what the option of buy is, but let's hope that he does well so that Torino can buy him. I don't know. It's 12 million. If it's off, it is the buyout. He does certain condition stuff. Like I hope so for that, but doesn't seem to be the case. And Benjamin Pavard. You know, it's like one of those transfers that makes no sense to me. Because if you can afford Lookman, because I read report that you can afford Lookman and Pony at the same time. So why are we acting like we're have like no funds? In fact, less funds than Sunni. Personally, I would probably keep Pavard and sell Bissek to Crystal Palace. I'd be lucky. 40 million. Could have funded the Leone deal. Oh yeah, Leone. Another transfer target you missed out. I'm sure he will do fine in the center back role, which is the role we absolutely needed. But can you imagine a back three of Bastoni, Akanji, and Pavard? Of course, I don't think we'll worry that much, but it would be a very good defense, I'll say. Now for the year left, because we don't have a budget window. I'm sure that we'll probably be replacing these players sooner or later. I hope so. Because I know that there's script go a lot in the fan base. Most of them. But again, contracts out 2026. Personally, I would probably not renew most of them. Hope so. Because Kanji, loan, buy him. If he does well, of course. De Vrij, Sommer, Mickey, Acerbi, Darmian, Di Gennaro. So yeah, a year left. Either Oaktree's got to start spending money, or Yeah, if Oaktree got to start spending money. But I can see Di Gennaro renew for one more year as a third choice. Darmian retire. Actually, or some relegation Serie A club. Acerbi retire. Mkhitaryan retire. Sommer back to Switzerland. De Vrij back to the Netherlands. I think the center back role, both De Vrij and Cherby, 1 year left, so it's stuck there. Just stuck with them. So I hope they do well, but they should be the. But no more new contracts for them. Next season, I hope Oaktree got to learn to start spending to plug in the holes. In fact, speaking of Akanji, he's really out of Oaktree's usual transfer policy. No one under 25, no one over 25, and anything under 25 million. Problem is that most of the under 25s are getting poached by the Premier League clubs, Bundesliga, Barca, Real Madrid. Most of the gems are in the Ligue 1, Brazilian league, or the Argentinian league. You want to go for less than 25 for these type of players, young players. You have to really, really scout, which is a little harder side. But for the how much reshuffled? So forwards, right there. Lautaro, Thuram, Arnautovic, Taremi to Correa, to Lautaro, Thuram, Pio to Bonnie. I know forwards are Refresh. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to see Arnautovic, Taremi, Correa off the bench. Like, okay, you know that we're not going. They're not going to be scoring, especially Correa. How's he doing in Botafogo, by the way? Has he scored yet? Score assists yet? Because so far, last time I remember, 0014. Midfield. How about midfield? Seems a bit reshuffled. Barella, Mickey, Hakan, Fratesi, Aslan, Zielinski. 2. Barella, Mickey, Hakan, Fratesi, Stusic, Doof, and Zielinski. So what I think about is, I know Zielinski could probably be shipped off to some Turkish team I do not know of. But looking at reshuffle, still don't have a natural DM, and Hakan shows worrying signs of. Yeah, it shows worrying signs of what doesn't want to be here type, and him outside of Inzaghi's system. Of course, I'm just curious how would Fratesi work with Kivu. I know that he doesn't work well with Inzaghi at all. For Kivu, Kivu wants to keep Fratesi. Probably had to play him higher up at probably as a number 10. Because Inzaghi ideally come off the bench and score a goal for Kivu. Maybe do that, or maybe more in a number 10 role. Because Fratesi number 8, he's not going to do well there. His passing volume is so small, nearly invisible for midfield, that defenders have a higher pass volume than him. One thing is he's more useful in the final third compared to Doof. I'm pronouncing it two different ways at this point. Oh well. Dusic. Let's hope he does well. But it seems right hand side or DM. Mickey is Mickey. A year left. Just wait. And stuff. Yeah, midfield. Is it like sort of refresh, sort of not? because it'd be concerning if Mickey's keeps starting week in and week out. I hope that Doof integrates with the squad. As I hope for. He's pretty much Mickey's replacement. And from her usage is Slime's replacement. Defenders. Now for defenders. Nothing's really refresh. Palacios. Apparently not shipped out. Not out somewhere. Only change is Pavard to Akanji. But yeah, that's about it. Like, are we really going to go with the center back between Acerbi and DeVry again? You know, it's going to be a massive hole in the squad. Also, Bisek's still there. Bozogene, by the way. I don't think he was going to coach the Bozogene out. And goalkeeper, wingbacks. Wingbacks. Pretty much the same. Only difference is I prefer. Yeah, some of them can play defender role, like Carlos Augusto for left, Darmian for the right. I hope Darmian plays on the right center back and not played a single minute in the wing back. He's pretty much invisible, even in Inzaghi's days. I don't know how would cheat Kivu make him visible in the right wing back role. But Luis Enrique, yes, wing backs. DeMarco, Carlos Augusto. Some reason Luis Enrique, but Luis Enrique can play both sides. I mean, this is why I don't want plays. This is why I don't want the Zalewski sale. We replace them with nothing, pretty much. Let's keep Buchanan or Luis Enrique. Zalewski can play both right, left, and in the midfield. Buchanan also. But prefer to keep DeMarco Dumfries. Carlos Augusto, Luis Enrique, and Zalewski. I prefer that. Put Darmian as the 7th or 5th choice or whatever. 7th choice center back. Keep him away from the wing back role. Goalkeeper, nothing's changed, really. Sommer only has a year left. For this season, I hope that Joseph starts getting more game time. Because I don't see Sommer moving on with the contract. Expire next season, so I don't know what to expect much. For the verdict. Well, for verdict, I know that overall the forward line is reshuffled. Midfield got depth, but stuff Mickey and Hakan still doesn't want to be here. Defense really didn't change. So am I going to give this transfer rating? I'm going to give it a 3.5. Because I'm honestly not impressed with the transfer. In fact, I'm sure there are glaring holes right now on our squad. In fact, a lot of transfer targets are missed that I think Kivu is really set up to fail. I just hope he does well. Because I think that you get top 4, Oak Tree better start spending. Because they're gonna be massive holes. Don't renew a single contract. They're going to just delay the problems sooner or later. Alright, I'm going to end the video there. Follow me on Twitter, link down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, usual YouTube stuff. Bye everyone, see you soon.